Yo, yo, yo. 1212, just making sure we're live. I think we are. Going to be careful not to mess this up. Yeah, I think we're live. Oh, that feels good. That feels good. Okay. So, today, I'd love to wait for somebody to join in first. Yeah, I'd love for somebody to join in, so I'm not alone. But we're gonna code a link shortener, but next gen, not the stuff we see Bitly and what other one, like link shortener, tiny URL, Bitly. These are simple. This is basic stuff. We're not going to do basic stuff. So what we don't want to do, we do not want shortener.com/abc, that's the short URL, to bring us to the long URL.com, the blog post. That we don't want. We have no interest in doing that, because if we do that, it's pretty simple. And we're not going to learn anything. So what we want is we're going to create an app folder. Or we're going to create a data folder, and we're going to create data.go. And in there, we're going to have all of our models. All of our models go in here. So what do we want in a link shortener? Type link struct. We're going to give it an ID. And that's going to be a string. And then we're also going to give it a short. So that's going to be the short URL. We're going to have the full URL, but that's actually a scam. We're not going to have the full URL. That's just to play around. We're going to make the simple one, and then we're going to make the difficult one. And then we're going to have a flag, active or not. Okay? We're going to keep it super simple. Super simple. And then we're going to have a link store interface, which is save link. Yeah, I can't even type, I'm not gonna lie. And we give the link, and we're gonna have get link by ID. And we're gonna have get link by short. That's it, really. We're gonna keep it simple. Okay. Now, then we're gonna have a test. App tests.go. We're gonna create this, and then we're gonna create taste simple redirection. Right? Now we're gonna need a cert, because I'm not writing test manually. That's just not gonna happen. Boom. And we're also gonna have to need func new link. So for a new link, we need the full URL. Okay, and then we return a link. Now we need ID equals the nano ID. We're going to need the nano ID okay, so what we're going to have to do is var ID gener new ID and then and then the length of an ID we're going to say is 25. That's it. And then we're going to have a short, new short. We don't need the errors because we know we're not going to have errors. And then we're going to have custom ASCII. The alphabet is going to be, yep, pretty much. We don't want dash, we don't want symbols. We don't want none of that. And then the length, let's say we want 10. Oh, we want 4. You know what I mean? Or 5. Let's do 8 for now. Okay, so now ID, new ID, short, new short. That's it. We created a new link. So if we go back to our test, now we want L1 equals data.new link, and the URL is https dot where are we gonna go? Example.com. Okay, that's link number 1. So we're gonna assert exactly that. We're gonna start very simple because we need to get those, feedback loop, get some green on the screen. That's what you want to do. You want to get some green on the screen. Now what else? What are we gonna do? Now we want to make sure that we're doing a redirection, okay? So what we want to create is something a little more difficult. So the first thing is store in mem store.go. Package data type in memory store. Let's be more precise. In mem link store. Struct data is going to be an array. We got a slice. We're going to be very proof of concept. Like, we're not here to do the whole querying the database and all of that. That's very simple. That's details. So we have the data here. Now, how do we that's it. Now we're going to create a new link just for testing. We're going to create another one that goes to yahoo.com and then another one that goes to Go. Is it good or dev? Damn, I don't even know. Yeah, it is. All right. We're going to put it first because we rep the Gopher. That's what we do. Okay, so we created 3 dummy redirections, links. And the problem is, we don't know what they are. So we're going to do L1, L2, L3, and then we're going to say L1.short. We're going to override it. So we're going to set the short URL is Go. This one is Yahoo. And this one is short as example. Okay. And now we're going to L1, L2, L3. Simple. Let's get the dopamine going. We just want something simple for now. Just make it work. Then make it better and then make it faster. That's how it works. That's too big. That's way too big. Okay. So, let's go to the test. You know, so far so good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new store. So, data, the new in-memory store. And we're going to make sure that store dot... Oh, you know what we forgot? We forgot to implement the bad boy. And here we should return link store. Okay, so we can be sure that if it doesn't work, if it becomes red, squiggly red, then we can start panicking ourselves. And we're panicking because we haven't implemented the interface we created. So if you go to link store, that's what we need to implement on the struct. So we're going to do it. No stress. So func store. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so how do we save the link? We're going to keep it simple. If we find the link, we replace it, and otherwise we just append it. Okay? And we return nil. And this is important, okay? Now, obviously, if you have a real database, MongoDB, Firebase, SQL, Postgres, whatever, you would write your query here to save it. And you see how that's nice because we don't mix and match everything. We keep anything that accesses the data layer or the database, the persistence system behind an interface. So that means you could technically have one in-memory store and then for your tests, and then when you go live to production, you just get the proper SQL database. Here we're gonna go through all of them, and if we can't find it, we can throw a new I can't even type. This is crazy. We want to type link not found, and we're gonna call it with the ID so we can be sure that it looks clean, because we don't want to have error messages that are not helpful, especially here because we have get link by ID and get link by short. So we want to be sure that if it doesn't work, we have a helpful message like this, not helpful. Because if you get that error in your console, you don't know which function is it coming from. Not found by ID. And here by short. See, extra touches that will help you the day you have a bug and it doesn't work. Okay, so now, what do we want? Go dev, and we got getting by short. So we need assert not error, and then we want got full URL to be what we want, which is go dev. All right. If we don't have that, we're doomed. Like literally, we need to reassess our lives. It works. Pass. We passed it. Okay, first hurdle. Oh, we have someone watching. I'm not alone anymore. Hello, what's up? Not sure who you are, where you are from, but I see the hunger in you. Okay. Now, that's simple. You know what I mean? We're doing a test. Normally you would have a real API. You get the request in. You get the path of that request. And then you check it just like we did here. Literally. It's that simple. The problem is, let me make sure the sound is working. It's that simple. Yeah, the sound is working. Great. Because yesterday I had some issues with the sound. That wasn't great. Someone 45 minutes later told me it wasn't working. It took me 2 seconds to fix it. But I didn't know. So if you don't know, you don't know. You can't fix a problem you're not aware of. That's a little life lesson right there. All right. So we did something pretty simple here. Nothing crazy. Now what I want to do is, we're going to call it link, is we don't want something that simple, okay? Because that would be a basic link shortener that, there are millions of. What we want to do is add conditions. And a condition would be a conditioner, I think. No, actually, I'm wrong. So what I want, let me explain to you what I want. Let's create a new test so we can test it directly there. Test the V2. We're already at V2, baby. We're already at V2. So we get the store, that doesn't change. And then we would get the link. But this time, it wouldn't give us a direct full URL. So this is what we want. We get a short URL. And then we get 302 to the location. Okay, that's what we did here. Except this time, we want the API to consider our IP. What is our IP? What is our user agent or device? Brand? Is it an iPhone? What is it? What is our geolocation? Let's say country. Okay. And we could add so many more. Browser, we could add operating system, device model, or we could have literally things such as language that you can detect from user agent and stuff like that, or country, time zones. We could deal with time of the day, or time of the request. Okay, things like that. Now you're like, why do we care about all of this? Because then that would be fed, all this context will be used to decide which full URL to redirect to. And you're like, what do you mean? I know you're like, what do you mean? Because the whole point is you have a short URL right here, and it's paired with a full URL. Like we did in the store. You have a short that goes and redirects to a long one. But that's on next gen. That's basic. That's a hash map. That's super basic. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create type. And this is where you get exciting. Oh, I can't even write. This is crazy. Destination struct. And we're gonna have an ID, local ID for the destination, simple. Then we're gonna have a URL, yeah, I guess a URL. And then we're gonna have conditions. Okay, and the conditions are gonna be a conditioner. A conditioner, we're going to describe it here, is a type conditioner in what is here. And we don't know what it is yet. We haven't defined it. Okay, we're going to define it. Keep calm. Keep calm. We're getting there. Destinations ID URL condition. That's it. That's all we need. And then we remove the full URL. And instead, we get destinations, and we get destinations. Boom. Okay. We're getting there. I know it sounds crazy, but we're getting there. Now, how do we create a new destination? Func new destination URL, and we also need conditions cond, and we're going to describe that here. Cond is a conditioner. And I know it sounds crazy for now. You're like, but how do we get from a short to the destination? We're even going to have, you know what, let's see. Now, here you have destinations and it's empty when you create a new link. Simple. That is still someone watching. You're still here. Yo, what's up? Now, conditioner is what we're going to use to match all of that here. IP, device, brand, country, browser, operating system, to match that when the request comes to whichever destination that we decided. So condition is satisfied, and inside we're gonna pass in we're gonna pass in, I guess, a request, kind of, and we're gonna create, yeah, kind of, I guess. Now request is not done, so type request, and a request for now we're gonna be simple. We're gonna have an IP time. We're gonna have an at, which is at what time was the request done. And we're going to have a country ISO 2, and that's it. Is it starting to make sense? I hope it is. I hope it is. Let me reorder all the stuff so it's kind of in order of importance. Okay, you have a link at the top of the structure. The link is basically a short, so like a short URL. We also have, for that link, so someone hits that short URL, we have multiple destinations, so multiple URLs to redirect them to. The problem is we need to decide which destination to choose for that person. So our handler, our app, will use each destination's conditions here to decide. So we'll build a request object for that request that the person is hitting, and based on that request, we're going to satisfy some conditions, and if they're all satisfied, then we'll pick that destination. Now you're like, but what if multiple destinations satisfy the request? Well, then we need to order them. You know what I mean? So then we can do priority with the number, and then the highest priority wins. Something like that. Or the latest could win. Anyway, so the request we're going to do func new request, and then we're going to give an IP, country. We don't need the time. We're going to need the time that now. We're going to make it up here. Okay, so now in our test, what we want is here, we create a request. What's the number one? Is the IP. So we're going to use 1.1.1.1.1, and the country is US. And what we want is the short that they call is go. That's the short URL they call. Now we need the link, basically. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna trim short equals string.trim the slashes. You see what I mean? We need to do that for simplicity's sake. Okay, so let me remove all of this. So we hit the short URL. Then our app builds a request object. Then our app loads the short. We could technically do that here. We shouldn't have any error. No error. Now the link we should get, if we're not crazy, is let's give it the ID equals 1, okay, just for simplicity. Equal expected is 1 and link ID. All right, so now we need to get the destination. You know what I mean? Based on that request and that link, which is based on that short, we need to know which destination to go to. So for that, we're going to use link pick destination, and we pass it a request. And then we have destination. And again, we don't want any error. That's it for now. Now it's going to fail 200% because, well, because of that already, but then also because we haven't created this. So that's not going to work. Okay. So let's go and create that. So func l link pick destination. Is that what we said? Yep. Okay. So we're gonna go and range through all the destinations. Actually, we're gonna sort. Yeah, we need to sorted destinations, and for that we need slices that sort. No, that doesn't exist. Oh wow. Sort func. No, but I'm not crazy. Oh, because I don't have the package. Okay. See, we're doing real coding here. We're not like doing all that scripted nonsense. I'm just thinking. You know what we're gonna do is like, we're gonna make our lives easier. Get sorted. Or you know what? Sort destinations. So destinations equals link dot destinations. Why is it not working? Type function. Oh. Yeah, swear to God, I'm confused right now. Okay, we good. Okay. Gosh, we got there in the end. Okay, so what we want to do now, that got me sweating. I'm tired. It's the end of the day here. 8 p.m. I didn't even eat yet. And I'm out here building software for nobody because nobody's watching. So we want to do, yep, that's what we want to do. So we want to run through all the destinations from the highest rank to the lowest in terms of priority. And then we want to make sure they satisfy that request. And if it satisfies the request, we return that destination. If it doesn't satisfy the request, we return an error. And we're going to say no destinations found. Simple. Okay. So for example, here, we're going to get an error for sure. No destination found. See, we're passing the test. No destination found. And this is because in our store, we need to add a destination. But the problem is, to add a destination, we need to create conditions. And we haven't created any conditions right now. We just created the interface. So what we're going to do is conditions.go package. So we're going to move the condition type here, so it's clear. So how does that work? So we're going to create a condition called type is country equals, okay? And we're going to have the value. Now, we need to implement that method. So we're going to go condition country equals, and then we need is satisfied request bool, and it will only be satisfied if the request country is the value. And then to do that, you do func new country equals, and you get a value that you do this. So for example, in here, destinations, we can add a new destination URL, and new country equals US. So for anybody, for example, who is from the US, we redirect to Golang US. For anybody who is from France, we redirect to France. Anybody who is from Italy, we redirect to Italy. All right, and that's based on that condition. Okay. We're gonna create here another destination, yahoo.com for the US, .fr, and .it. We're gonna do the same here. Simple. So now, this guy is from the US, because that's the request we have. So if we pick a destination, we should have no error, and we should have .com. For the URL. If that doesn't work, we're in trouble, guys. Oh, I'm sweating. It's not working. Actual. Oh, is it US? Did we use US here? Oh, we did. My bad. So let's do it here, and let's do it here as well. Okay. Equals US. That's it. You know what I mean? Now, browser. Let's create a conditions for that. Conditioner. Type browser is, or in, struct. So values. This time we're not going to use equality, but we're going to use in. So we create a new browser with multiple values here. No, that should work. What do you mean? Oh, it's not working because we're not implementing the... So here we're going to do for value range C values. And what we want to do is if request.browse, oh, we don't have browser yet. Let's add it real quick. Browser. If request.browser equals value, we'll return true. Otherwise, we'll return false. That's how this condition is satisfied. So now we can go to the store and say, you need a destination that's golangchrome.com if the browser is in Chrome. All right. So now we have the problem we discussed, which is, okay, we create a destination, but then we need a priority, because if we have two that are correct, then how do we differentiate? You see what I mean? So here, we're going to have to come up with a default of 1, but we're going to make this one more important. Okay. So if someone has a browser Chrome and is from the US, this one will win because it's higher. And we can do the test right about now. Request.browser equals Chrome. And we should get this URL. Yo, we failed. And that's because of the sorting here. I messed up. You know what I mean? Now that should work. No? What? This is the end of the world, to be honest. Yo, I need some help right now. I'm quite tired, so I'm trying to figure it out. I never know with sorting which one is which one. Oh, this is crazy. Golang sort slice of structs by field. Because this is driving me crazy right now. Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah, this is crazy. That's what we did. Oh no! We never called it. Sort. Oh, come on. Come on, we wasted time here. Okay, so then there's the other one, maybe? Yep. Let's go! We did it, baby! I'll say we're untouchable. I think it was Fireship last video. It was like, being a programmer is like you go from having self-doubt within a few seconds to the second after feeling untouchable, like you're a God-given superpower. Okay. That's why we need to start a destination. And then, so that would be nice. Well, anyway, whatever. Okay. So now that makes sense. Now you're asking, yo, that's nice, but that's a bit basic. What if I want to have, let's say, a condition that includes more conditions? So for example, I want a destination to be valid and picked only if the user is from the US and has Chrome as a web browser. How do you do that? Because right now, if you look at it, we're basically saying the user, we can only filter or select based on one single condition, country or browser, basically, is these. You see what I mean? Unfold. But what we want is, so single conditions, or what we could call attribute based conditions. And here we're going to call these group predicates. So type and. How is and going to work? You guessed it. We can literally have children. Let's call them children. And the children are conditions as well. So now, func, new, and. Oh, this is exciting. This is exciting. Yeah, we're going to stop that copilot. This is getting a bit stressful. So now what do? You guessed it. For child range a.children if child is satisfied, or if it's not satisfied for the request, then we return false. We're not satisfied because and all of them need to be satisfied. Otherwise we return true. Simple, to be honest. Now, we're going to do something specific to that because we need to test the func test and. Okay, so and one. Are we going to test empty and? So that's a new and that's empty. So then what? Got empty and dot is satisfied, and request we're going to have whatever. What request did we use in the app test? We're going to use the same. Yeah, we're going to use the same. Okay. So what do we do with this? Here we have an empty and. So how do you handle empty ands? If you don't have child or children, child conditions or children, do you return true or false? I would say if you do and, that means you're pretty strict. So you assert that is going to be you expect a false, basically. You know what I mean? Whereas if you had an or, is a little more permissive. You would accept true for an or. But for an and, we want false. So clearly it's not fine. Because here we didn't check. You see? If it's empty, this is completely skipped. And then it returns true. So, if len of a then children equals 0, then return false. We need to make sure that's passing. Boom! Now, so we're going to put that into brackets to scope it. Now, and we're going to have new and this time new browser in, for example, Safari. Got, we're going to keep the same here. So this one we expect false because we request in a condition a Safari browser and we are offering Chrome. Shouldn't work. If you change that to Chrome, I can't see my keyboard because of the mic. So I'm not, stupid. I just can't see it. Now that works. Okay, baby. We're getting there. So the and works. Now, obviously, we're going to want to create type or struct children is exactly the same. This is crazy. We're going to duplicate that. New or children, except here it will be or. All right. And then we need func o or is satisfied request boolean, and we return. So this time for O is a child, range children, if child dot is satisfied by the request, this time we'll return true here. And if all of the children are not satisfied, so no one is returning true, we return false. Because with or, we only need one, basically. Okay? Is there really someone now watching? Because it says watching, but then I'm like, I feel like you're a bot. Are you a bot? So you're not chatting. Yeah, you're a bot. Okay, so we have this bad boy. Now, same. Test or. Now we're gonna change all the ors. No, that's not good. New or. This time we should return true. We're gonna call that a condition, because that's what it is. What is going on here? Condition. Cool. Okay. So if it's empty, it should return. Let's comment these out. Let's focus on the first one. If it's empty, it should return true, because that's the opposite of here. But it's not going to work. It's going to fail, because we haven't handled the special use case where or.children, the length of it is 0. Return true. Okay, so now, boom, dopamine right there. This one should return false as well. And this one should return true. Okay, so now let's add another one. Let's call this one the condition again. So now let's add is Chrome and is new country equals US. All right. It should still be true, because both of them are correct. US, Chrome. Hey, boy. Now, Safari. There's only this one correct now. So that should be false, right? That should be false, because we don't have all of them. And boy, we did it. Next gen coding. This is what we're doing here. We're not playing around. And here, so let's say we say new country equals Italy. So it's true only if in the request it comes from Italy, or it's an or, it's Chrome. So it should be correct. Right. Now, if this is Safari, you know what? Loser is using Firefox. Or even worse, Edge. Or even worse, Brave. Let's do Firefox. Oh yeah, it should be false, obviously. Dummy. That's it. So that's working. Now you could create other ones, other conditions, like based on anything you want, really. Then it's your imagination. All you have to do is create a type for it, a constructor to make sure it's properly constructed. Because if you don't offer a type, you can have some weird things. Because right now they're pretty simple. You know what I mean? But for example, country, you could have case sensitive and have a Boolean. And you want them to set it. So if you just do that as a proper struct that's like public, and with field are public, people can just forget to set everything. You know what I mean? So use the constructor to be sure that it's well formed and valid at all times. You could create a not, an OT. So how would you do it? Simple type, not struct, except this time it's not children, it's child, and the child is a conditioner as well. Func new not, child conditioner return not child. Oops. Child. Yo, what's going on? And func not is satisfied request bool. So not is kind of a brain exercise. So you want to return not that child is satisfied and then the request, okay? But it's a not, so you want is false. You do not want it to be satisfied. You know what I mean? That's a little crazy, but that's what it is. So that's that. We created not. Then you can create a test for not in here. We can do one. We're not going to do all of it because it's going to take forever, but not. Let's do this. New. So we have the original condition, which is new country equals US. Okay, now we're going to have not, new not, original condition. And it's satisfied only if the original condition is negative, is false. So for example here, the original condition equals true, so that should be false. Am I right or what? Or maybe I'm just confused. Yeah, should be false. If that was not correct, then that would not be correct. That would be true. See what I mean? Okay. And that, I think, is called the pattern that we use for the conditions. That, what's going on? Yes, we can use that. I know. Relax. Relax. Stop telling me how to code. That pattern of using conditions, I think, is called the specification pattern. Specification pattern coding. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. That's what it is. That's what we did just now. What's going on? So they call the and, or, and not the composite specification. We call them what? The group predicates. Just about language. You know what I mean? Yeah, is satisfied by. That's basically what we care about. And see how much code they write in other languages. I feel bad for them. I'm like, this is sad. This is sad. Oh my gosh, this is horrendous. Is there a Go? There isn't, because they know Go is too good for that. Go is too good for that. Specification pattern, blah, blah, blah. Look at all the code, how dirty it is, compared to that beautiful interface. It's wild. Honestly, I feel bad. Because that's the base, that's the interface. Horrendous. Like, what is all of this? What is, if that's a simple specification, like I cannot read this. I cannot read this. That's a simple specification. Clean, pure, beautiful. Okay, so now we can go back to our test in memory store with a fake data. That's the fake data. And here, when we add a new condition, we can add new end. And this time, we want to say, you're going to go to loser.com only if your browser is Edge, is any of these, Edge or Firefox. And you're from, I don't know where, but you're from, let's say, the US. So if you're from the US and your browser is Edge and Firefox, then you're going to loser.com. Now, you're going to winner.com if your browser is Chrome and you're from the US. So if you're from the US, it's tricky. You can be a loser, you can be a winner, and that's all based on your browser. And that's if you go to the short URL, go. So we're going to go, we're from the US, Chrome. US and Chrome, that's winner.com, right? Winner.com. That's all. Simple. Now, if you change that to Edge, a loser. Loser. My bad. You're a loser if you go to Edge. But now you're like, what if you're brave? I don't even know who that is. I received a notification. I don't even know what's going on. What if you're brave? Because if you're brave, you're not here. Because remember, you need to have an end, and you're not here. So what's going on? No destination found. Exactly, because none of these were valid, basically. So what we could do is create an empty end, and that's default.com. You see what I mean? And because it's the default one, how do we do default? Oh, we don't have a default one. Because this one is never going to be picked because there is no condition in the end. And we saw that if the children are 0, it's false. So this one is never going to be picked. Whatever request you pass it in. We can even put 0, -1, or whatever. But what we can do is change link here to add a default destination Yeah, to add a default destination. What's going on? Default destination. Oh, I see what you mean. We didn't create the thing. Default destination is a destination. And we need one. You know what I mean? Oh, do we? Because maybe we don't. But I think we do. So then L1.default destination equals L1 destination 012. This one. Or we can put it first. That's it. Okay, so now we're gonna go to our test and we should get default.com. Oh, it's still not gonna work, and you're gonna see why. No destination found. How's that possible? We just set it up because in the pick destination we haven't handled that case. So if L, if we get here, if L the default destination is set, then we return to, oh, it is set because it's not nil. Okay, so then we return to link.default destination. Simple. And now it's gonna work. Or not. Oh no, I forgot to remove the error. My bad. That's because I'm tired. You know what I mean? And it works. Okay. So that's pretty much the first part of our next gen link shortener. You know, we built kind of part of the engine. And there are a few things we can change. For example, do we want a default destination always? Maybe not. So then we can make it nil, possibly. And here we would have we would only do link the default destination different nil. Then we return L the default destination. Otherwise, yeah, that's that. So this is simple, to be honest. What's going on now? Yeah, that's it. We good to go. Say what? We got loser. Because we're from the US and we're brave. Oh. Loser. That's wrong. That's probably from here. No, that's crazy. I was about to go eat. What? Yeah, that's not possible. Like, what do you mean? That makes zero sense. What's the print? Actually, printf. My gosh, I want to go to not to sleep. I want to go to eat. Yo, we're missing something. This is weird. That's my point. It's default. Here. Oh, I know. We sorted it. I got you. So what we're going to do, okay, real quick, we're going to fix this. We're going to change this with a string, and that's going to have to be the ID. We're going to say set default ID string destination ID. And I'm going to say L the default destination equals destination ID. And then we're going to say get default destination, and if L dot default destination equals nil, we return nil. If not, then var default equals destination. But this time we want to range over all the dest. If dest ID, I'm doing extra hours right now, equals L dot default destination, then you return dest. That's pretty much it, no? I think we're good to go. Oh, it's a default dest, or let's say, yeah, default dest. Okay. What's the error now? What is going on? So if we're gonna do if has default destination boolean, and if it has is dest and that's L. No, actually we can just do L dot get default destination equals a different of nil. Okay. So now here, what we can do is if has default destination, then we return the default destination. If it doesn't, then we error out with a no destination found. Okay. So now here, we can say set default ID, and we're going to set it to the first one. It's going to ask for a pointer. Func ptr any value is t, and we return a pointer of t. Return. Okay. ptr, boom, sorted. No problemo. What? I know, V. My bad. No problemo. All right. Now it should work. If it's not working, that might be the last stream ever for me. A pass. Pass. You know? And even better than passing, because now if we do... And the rest still will work, or should work, at least, if I'm not crazy. If we do Yahoo, and we do French, de la France, mon ami, ça va? We should get yahoo.fr. Say what? No, the ID, we don't really care about it right now. Yeah, that should work. And if we do here example .com and we do IT, you know what it is, we're geek. Run test and that should work. So that's a simple way of using the specification pattern. It's very nice and compact. You know, that's how we use it. Like that's the main function that calls it. And that's at the core, that would be at the core of the app. You know, so you would have people calling you, calling your API, creating short links. So you have the link, and then you have for each link destinations. Each destination has conditions. And it would be, you know, you could have a beautiful editor, like visual editor on React or SvelteKit. That would be, you know, like and browser equals whatever, or and, you know, with drop downs and very simple visual kind of a condition editor or designer, builder. Yeah, you could build that in Svelte or in React. Pretty simple. Yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, just leave them in the comment section in the video. Maybe next time we'll just build the actual server that will serve and redirect people. But that's pretty quick. Yeah, that's my point. So that's how I code when I'm tired. It's still great. Yeah, cool. That's it for today. Hopefully we'll do another stream in a few days. I'm gonna peace out. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.